If you're a regular human being, we're all looking for ways to make easy money, that elusive passive income. And of course, if you're like me, you're sitting there on your phone searching passive income. And one of the things that will often come up is renting a room in your house. Well, what if you have a basement to rent out? Wouldn't that be great? What if you turned your basement into an apartment? That would be awesome. Well, slow your roll. There's a lot of things that go into that, and we're going to talk about that before you go too deep down the rabbit hole of turning your basement into an apartment. So if I'm going to start anywhere, it's going to be making sure I know my local building code. Building code, right? I'm going to check with my municipality or my region or whatever it is to make sure I know the requirements for what it takes for my apartment to be a legally registered basement apartment. Now you're wondering, why do I need it to be legally registered? All right, good question. Two things. One, it's going to improve the value of your house. It's going to go up, right? You don't have to say we have an in-law suite or any creative thing when you go to sell the house. You say, we have a legally registered basement apartment, which means you have an income property within the house already. Next, you need to insure that. If you have a stranger living in the basement and they accidentally set a kitchen fire, you need to be insured properly. If you don't have a legally registered basement apartment, you're opening yourself up to the chance that the insurance company could not honor your claim. So, legally registered basement apartment is the way to go. Once we've gone through that, I want you to understand that you're bringing in a tenant and not a roommate. Okay? You're not going to share a space with them. You're not sharing a kitchen. You're not sharing a bathroom. Maybe you're sharing a laundry room, but that's it. Maybe you're sharing a driveway. That's it. So you have to think of this apartment as a completely independent space from your part of the house. All right, now that we've got that put aside, we're going to start with something really simple. That's going to be parking. So if you've talked to your local building department, they're going to be able to tell you whether street parking is okay, whether you need a parking lot spot at all, or whether you have to provide a parking spot. I live in Guelph, Ontario. I know the rules here, and this is what I'm basing this on, but a lot of what I'm telling you is going to be common throughout. Here, we require a parking spot. Next up, we're going to talk about entrance and exit. What we mean by that is they have to be able to get into their apartment independent of you. They shouldn't have to walk through your side of the house to get to the entrance to theirs. So whether it is an entrance through the garage, through the side of the house, or through the back of the house, it doesn't matter. You want them to be able to get into their space without disrupting your space. You really don't want to be sitting there in the middle of the night and having this person come home late from work and wake you up. You want them to go through their separate space. Exit has to do a little bit more with fire code. So if the basement has a fire, you need here in Guelph, you need a window big enough and functional enough for them to be able to climb out of if they can't make it to the main door of their apartment. So entrance and exit, separate, very important. After that, we're going to talk about plumbing. We're just going to call it plumbing, but this encapsulates a number of things, okay? So you're going to need their own kitchen, and they're going to need their own bathroom. The one thing here in Guelph you can have shared is laundry. By shared laundry, that means they don't have to walk through your space to get to the laundry. If you think about an apartment building, the laundry room is usually in a main area that everyone can access. Another way to look at it is like, if we both have an apartment, you don't want to have to go into my apartment, walk through my living room to get to the laundry room. That's not cool. Again, we're looking at tenant roommate here. Roommate, sure. Tenant, no. So the laundry can be shared, but you need plumbing for all of these. Most basements might have plumbing for a bathroom, but they don't have plumbing for a kitchen. So you got to bust up the concrete and put all of that in. That's an extensive cost, but you're going to need all three of these to make that happen. Okay, the last point I'm going to make is going to be re-emphasizing kind of a lot of the elements that we've already talked about. That is super important because you don't want your house to burn down, and that is fire code. Here in Guelph, there's a big emphasis on fire code. Fire-rated drywall in certain areas, smoke proofing in your utility room. You might have to put a sprinkler head in your utility room. You're going to have a fire-rated door at the top of your stairs that leads from your space to the apartment. All of these things, your exit, right? We talked about egress window in case of fire. The fire code takes up a big chunk of the requirements that you're going to need for this because it has to be an independent space. And if there is a fire, that fire needs to be contained down there so that it doesn't spread and everyone can get out. For example, other elements, there needs to be interconnected smoke detectors in every bedroom, not just the basement, but those smoke detectors need to be connected to the ones in the upstairs bedrooms. It makes sense because if there's a fire downstairs, you want everyone to get out. So the smoke detectors will go off upstairs and everyone will get out. Another element sometimes, depending on where you live, is the furnace can have a kill switch within it. So if there is a fire and the smoke detectors go off, there's a switch that's activated that turns the furnace off so we're not pumping smoke or fire throughout the house. All of these are very unique to Guelph, but they may not be. They may be part of what you need to find out at your local building department. As always, thanks for watching and good luck on your project.